where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Who am I but I'm Dre Mac? Came into the game just to spit facts. Into the space that I'm in. They call me Bobby Drake cause I'm cold with the pen. I find no diamonds but I still shine. You can dig me cause my bar's mine. My tracks flame like a Galoo. The hardest part on my tongue, thinking is a warm blue. I'm a soul with a gas leak. Camouflage in the mist, but you smell me. One spark, then I bet you I'ma blow up. Just throw my name around, get stupid, then you go dumb. No rest for the weary, or versus thinking in his man, but you can't see me. You rather drink than go pull up, or drink a knife through the game, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. I came to eat at the a la carte. Got stripped of a bear, call me brainstorm. Then I come together like a Voltron. Then I poured all the plaques to use Decepticon. Straight rappers to retreat like Cobra. 80s they flow, they like up in the storage and I'm man. Up, down, man, I'm cheap. You a beast, man. I take a beat in. Ninja turtle back, turtle clans get defeated. Hot in my ride, you can call me Night Rider. You can never stop me, cause I'm a guy bomb. Bad attitude like a rocket, my whole to the A, and I bet you can stop us. LL bad when I go and show up. You can hear the haters in the back. Let me get him where I fit in, homie.
What's up?
Let me get him where I fit in, homie.
What is going on, everybody? It's your man Dre Mac. Coming to you again with another episode of the Dre Mac Show. 7:30 in the morning Central Time, 8:30 on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast, go ahead. You already know. Get up, because you already know that the early bird gets the worm. And today, we're going to discuss and recap episode 7 of Daredevil Born Again. And before I get started, I want to send because we seen yesterday that a great actor, especially for me, growing up, Val Kilmer passed away. I know somebody, some folks know him as he was the second Batman, after Michael Keaton. I feel like he was an underrated Batman too. I know him from Tombstone and from Heat, one of my favorite movies. He was also, people don't understand, he was a voice of Kit in the reboot of Knight Rider in 2008 too. But yeah, man, that was kind of rough. You know what I'm saying? To see that last night while I was at work. Val Kilmer, is now has now passed on. So, RP to him and to his family and stuff like that. That's just, I mean, we knew he was sick and whatever. He lost his voice. I mean, I think his last on-screen appearance was Top Gun Maverick, if I'm not mistaken. I know they had a documentary about him. Just all kinds of stuff, but yeah, Val Kilmer, RIP. But when it comes to this episode of Daredevil Born Again, this was probably, as far as the way that they're taking this, I think this is one of the best episodes. We ain't at the end, so I'm not going to give it everything, but I did really like this episode. And I'm one of those type of people that cringe at, when people getting cut on screen, because I don't like that in real life. Yeah, you know what I mean? Trust me, I seen my twins being born and they were cut open. And oh God, so yeah, I don't like that. So there was a lot of things that was in this episode, we could say he's back. The Daredevil is back. So Yeah, let's get into it. Hope you guys are healthy. If you haven't seen this episode, let me just say this. Let me get this out. If you haven't seen this episode, get out of here. Get. If you don't care for this show, go out here. Get. You know what I mean? Especially, I mean, I'm just be honest with you. I'm not mad at people that's not even checking this out. Just because of the way that Disney has been moving, it associated with Marvel. So I dig it. I understand because I'm gonna be honest with you. The views on my videos when I'm doing these recaps, either something wrong with me or a lot of people aren't digging the show. But the actual people who come and watch this is not a lot. You guys watch all my other videos, even my Death Battle Friday video got a lot more love than me recapping Daredevil. So with that being said, we're still going to go to the end. Hope you guys are happy. Hope you guys are healthy. Shout out to my man Heavy Gant over at the Heavy Gant Reacts channel, but you already know how I do it. The real question is, all right, all right, all right, all right. All right, let's see who is all in the house today. Let's give a shout out to everybody. Marley Marr is up in here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Daredevil went hard in the paint. I like this. I'm trying to tell you, Daredevil is looking more and more like Batman. I'm not even joking. If am I wrong for saying, I know Frank Miller, if I'm not mistaken, Frank Miller created Daredevil. Um, but I'm seeing so many similarities the way Val Kilmer is Val Kilmer, Lord have mercy. The way Daredevil Matt Murdock is moving in this show compared to I know Frank Miller didn't create Daredevil. I know he wrote for him. Let me take that back. But yeah, it's just the way that he's moving about in the show, all of that. I I really like the direction, the creative direction, what they're kind of doing here. They're keeping it serious some. They're also still being a little superhero-y. I like that. I don't know about you guys in the chat. Tell me if you like the way that they're doing Daredevil. I kind of dig it. Uh Hold on. I'm about to find out real quick. Hold on. So I'm not. So it was Drew Goddard. No. What am I just saying? No. Created by Stan Lee and Bill Everett. Stan Lee was the writer. Bill Everett was the artist on this. But why I hate that when you ask AI and it brings up the not the comic, it brings up the actual game. Dang, oh, I'm about to start cussing. They gonna show, but you know what I mean. But anyway, Junior Network. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Tracy Woods. Good morning. Xavier Phoenix. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And yeah, Heat is one of my favorites. Heat is one of my favorites. But man, they had that scene actually happened in real life too. The scene in Heat actually happened in L.A. on a robbery in real life. You know what I mean? I still remember that. But yeah. Let me see. Be positive. What's up? Petition to make John Boyega a Force sensitive extra trooper spinoff show or movie. That's awesome. Will he do, even if they offered him that, after the way that he came and told the truth about some of the fandom and how some of the fandom got mad? It tried to make it seem like he said all of the fandom, but we know that those people who say those type of things behind closed doors, behind their keyboards, got triggered, and then tried to blame him. So Robin D, good morning, good morning. Yeah, Doc Holliday, Tombstone, completely. I say that's his. Yeah. Yeah. That. Yeah. I'll give you that. Tombstone is one of my favorite westerns of all time. You know what I mean? Tombstone is one of his. Doc Holliday, you know what I mean? That's one of my best western, one of my favorite westerns of all time. Batman Forever has the worst car, but has an underrated Jim Carrey as a great villain. Uh, and yep, make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Especially I'm like one more subscriber away from hitting 4,500. I'm close to 5,000. I'm trying to get to 5,000. So make sure that you guys are liking and sharing this. I know that this is being shown not only on YouTube, but we're on X right now. So if you're new, if you're watching this on X, you like what a brother's doing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. American Ninja Girl, good morning. Good morning. And I'm sorry, I knew I was supposed to have, and I wanted to address this. I was supposed to have a show yesterday, and I was so exhausted. I woke up. Let me just tell you, I woke up at 4:30 Monday morning, right? Of course, I did the morning show. And then I took my son. He needed to get what up, Lana J. Good morning. My son wanted to go find out about this job, so we go find out about the job. Then afterwards, I was like, hey, went to Smoothie King, got me a Hulk, you know what I'm saying? And then we go to the dealership because again, I wanted to test drive this vehicle. And we was there from 10:30. I don't think we got done till like almost 5 or almost 6. Yeah, it was 5:30. Yeah, it was a long time. I was tired. And then I came and did the show with Blue. I'm halfway nodding off, trying to stay up. My legs are shaking because I'm so exhausted. So when I tell you I slept, I ate, I didn't get up until like 9:30 the next morning. I was done. Then I got up for a little bit because I had to take my old keys. I traded in my car. And so I had to take the old keys and the title up to the dealership and then get the new car, sign newer paperwork because it got me some more money off that car, and then go home. And then I went to sleep again after eating. So yeah, it was a fun, but I was tired. Not even gonna lie. Adulting is so overrated. But it was me because I kept saying, do I really want? It wasn't the dealership, it was me. I used to work at a dealership way back in the day. I was like, I think my second job out of college too was at a dealership, but it was me. I was being very undecisive. I didn't know if I want them to I didn't know I wanted to trade him. I had my car, my Black Mustang, for 5 years. It was my first brand new car off the lot. It has sentimental values, very sentimental values. But when you could jump up from, it was back in the day, bro. It was back in the day. I think you were probably a toddler, back in the day. But but I was Lana J. When I tell you, that particular car, because it was my first brand new car off of a lot. I bought a lot of used cars over the time. That was my first car. It had 25 miles on it, black on black Mustang. It was an EcoBoost, got good gas mileage. I'm trying to tell you, I went through so much with my 2019 car as far as like never no mechanical issues, never had a problem with this car. Almost paid off. But they gave me way more money than my car was I actually owed. So yeah, and then I got into that baby. I mean that what do you call it? Is Grabber Blue from 1969. It's the Grabber Blue Mustang GT, fully equipped premium. It was a deal. I mean, it gave me the Godfather deals. I feel like it was a deal I couldn't refuse. And then I'm not lying. There's something about a V8 that just it's a totally different beast. So I am happy. It's outside, windows getting tinted, looking to order a brand new spoiler so I can have the Dark Horse spoiler put on there soon. Yeah. We're getting ready to, it's about to be hooked up. Anyway, let's get to this episode. In the chat, tell me, chat, before I even pull this up, what did you guys think about this episode? This Muse episode? I got another Mustang. Put it more like that. I got another one. Yeah, yeah. Once you get that V8, it's nothing. It's nothing you ever feel before. If V8 is just a different monster. It sounds ridiculous. It's ridiculous. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted on my Instagram, but it's ridiculous. And got to get that black on black. I gotta get that tint. Got to get that tint to, and then me and I know Aisha. Well, I'm going back and forth for what I named it. My last car was called Car, Karr, big Knight Rider fan. But yeah, Mustang gang up in here. But but so Aisha was like, name it Leo. It does have that Leo blue color from Turtles. But man, I'm not gonna lie. I was looking at my Thundercracker. If you are a fan of Transformers, you know who Thundercracker is. And that blue on that Thundercracker looks just like my car. So I might have to change it to Thundercracker because as soon as you hit that, anyway, let's get out of here. Let's get out. Let's get out of here. Let's get into. But what did y'all think? Okay, let's get out of the Mustang gang lane. What did you guys think about this episode? Put it in the chat. What did you guys think about this episode? I'll show you a picture just real quick. I'll show you a picture of my old one and new one just real quick. But while I'm doing that, tell me what you guys think about this episode. Was this episode why did I pull that up? Did this episode hit it for you? What did you guys think about this episode? Let me know. Put it in the chat what you guys. Oh God dang it. I hit the wrong dang on thing. What did you guys think about this episode? Hey Roberta, good morning, good morning, good morning, Dre. I don't know if you watched the Wednesday series on Netflix, but the actor playing Muse was on that show. I'd never seen Wednesday. So but also because Johnny Wash is up here. Tell me while I'm getting this together. Why'd you also tell me why'd you give it a 6.5 too? If you didn't like it, if you liked it, tell me if you like it. If you didn't like it, tell me in the chat, if for some reason if it didn't grab your attention, why? Why didn't it grab your attention? All right, let's go ahead because I want to but yeah, tell me what you think about the episode. I'm gonna just share my screen, my screen real quick. But yeah, that was the old one, and that's the new one. So again, I have very sentimental values to my black on black Mustang. Like I said, it's hard to find black on black like that. But that new one is a different beast. You know what I mean? So yeah. That new one is I ain't gonna lie, I do miss my car though. I miss my car. And it's an upgrade, but man, that black on black, there's nothing like that black on black though. It was nothing like black on black on black. It's everything in my car was black. Everything, the seats, everything black. But I love them. I love that was that's my next car. But yeah. So again, I'm gonna look through the comments here. Let me see. Torrance said this was one of the best episodes this season. Johnny Watson said it was a 6.5 out of 10. Fish was happy. Matt was back in action. I think Vanessa set that dude up. We're gonna get to all of this. Vanessa's a G and I love her. Marley Morris said this episode was dope. Daredevil wasn't messing around with Muse. I rate this one a 9. Lonnie J said, I love when Charlie Cox gets to yelling while fighting. Ah, he gets to screaming. I do love that. They had a shower sex scene at the beginning of the episode, and I said, this is Disney Plus. Again, I'm gonna be honest with you. I like the more mature way that they're doing this. It's not over sexualized. Like I said, this is the difference between the boys and this series on Disney Plus. The boys, they just take the sex and whatever and just go as extreme as you could possibly get with the rating that they have on Amazon. This is still giving you the same thing, but you see how they can be able to shave it and make it more a little bit more elegant, but still keep it adult. You know what I mean? That's what I like. Johnny Washington said, I felt the Muse story was a bit rushed. His character is more dope in the comics. All right. Let me see. What up, Tommy? Tommy's up in here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Matt was a bit rusty, but that's a nice detail. He said, and Muse ain't dead. He's confirmed for season 2. Is that true? Is he been confirmed for season 2? Y'all put in the comment section, let me know if he's been confirmed for season 2. Let me see. The board is borderline Southport. Man. Yeah, you say, yeah, he has been confirmed. Why would they do a twist? Why would they have that? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, I'm just checking something real quick. That's so my biggest thing with that is why would they have the murder, if he's just gonna come back? Oh, you said I saw them shooting in New York? Since I mean anyway, they spoiled that with the set leaks. Oh well well that'll do it. Kingpin acting like he was a legit businessman and Daredevil was wrong was hilarious. That was pretty funny. Yeah, I just seen it on Forbes. I brought it up. I didn't see that it was confirmed through Forbes. Which again, when you have like a inner like that, which they just left his body. Remember, they just left his body there. Like it just takes the sting away. It's I hate when they do that. Because then it spoils the whole thing of him being shot and dead anyway. Yeah, they said in the comics he's an Inhuman, right? If I'm not mistaken. So, but yeah. So let's get to this episode. This is again episode 7. Art is art. Art for art's sake. Excuse me. Art for art's sake. Which again, I'm gonna rate this episode about an 8.5 out of 10. I really liked it. I really like this episode. Again, I don't think that there was a enough of me, but again, if we know he's coming back for season 2, then maybe his story ain't over with. Because I'm like, well, I mean, they killed him in the 7th episode. They introduced him finally who he is as a human, but then he's already dead, but obviously he's not. So if you have seen this before, you already know that I skip it 10-second interviews because Disney will get you. They will get you. So we start off with Wilson Fisk and my man from The Sopranos. If you notice, he's starting to get a lot of screen time in this. Like, I don't know if you guys really notice, but he's getting way more screen time than I initially thought he was gonna get. And I think, well, for one, that's a good thing. For two, I believe they're really setting up his character for something big um in this series. He's starting to take on a lot of characteristics of Wilson Fisk, and I believe he's taking idolization to a whole new level. So I'm just going to put that precursor out there. I think it's awesome, but I want to know, who are they going to make him in the future. This sick horror kingdom was going on. Muse is a dude that took Daredevil's sidekick eyes. LOL. The F was this, but the MCU doesn't know how to use villains. But again, he obviously said that he said, I haven't seen it yet. Good morning. Hey, get out of here. Get Dr. James Willis. Get. I ain't trying to ruin it. Get now. Now get out of here now. Now gets. Since they already confirmed he's coming back for season 2, obviously he ain't dead. He's still alive. He is risen, I guess. Muse of Jesus, I guess. Because but that kind of took the sting out of this episode, because I'm like, damn, she shot him. But anyway, so Wilson is saying what he sees in the city. What do you see in the city? My man says Starbucks. I start laughing. He said, I see fear. The people fear. We need to be able to get this city back. Of course, he knows that Daredevil's back. He said, and no, Muse doesn't have the power to come back, but the writing does. So we recap where Muse is taking old girl, and she's, I keep saying old girl. Lord have mercy. This is why people don't be watching this mess or whatever when I'm doing these recaps, because man, I will jack up a name in a heartbeat. But there's so many damn characters in these shows. But Angela DeToro, she is having, flashbacks of what happened, because she's in the hospital. Matt is in there, and she's Matt ends up seeing her later on. But Matt is also, I believe, is kind of having flashbacks of what's going on. Also, I believe that the reason why they cut it like this, because her having the flashbacks of what's going on, her remembering Daredevil saving her, intertwines with Matt running the blood, and all of that stuff off of his body. Now, all the scars and stuff like that Matt has, this lady is not, questioned, where did you get these scars? So he's like, how I got these scars. Had the conversation, but she's being concerned about him, because she was like, look, you've been dipping out. Where you been? Where you going? He was like, I'll be going for walks. Sometimes I run into stuff. It's the perks of being blind. She was like, but you were still at that bank. I was worried about you. I ain't got nothing to do with people robbing the bank. You know what I mean? But I think she's trying to figure out who he is. And this scene was perfect, because they hunch. You know what I'm saying? They're over there hunching in the shower, but she starts questioning him, in this. So she's trying to figure out what's really going on. And I believe he wants to tell her, but again, if he tells her, that exposes what he's trying to do, and she's going to be more concerned about him, like any other hero. Let's keep the love interest in the dark. Until they find out and they put 2 and 2 together who you actually are. That's not a trope we heard before, is it? I believe it is. So again, I like this was a bit of foreshadowing, because he was touching her face, and I know that is something that the vision impaired does, to be able to kind of feel the face and everything. It kind of visualize what that face would be. The Fort Media, get out of here. You ain't seen it. Get out of here now. I don't want to ruin it. And Minty Gasm, good morning, aka Tina, good morning, good morning, good morning. But this was a bit of foreshadowing. I like that, So Matt and Cherry had this conversation because he was like, God dang it, you said you weren't gonna do this again. You know what I mean? And Matt was like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. But it had to because he had to save the girl. Now, what is crazy is that he pointed out to Cherry, like, look, you used to come to me. You know what I mean? When you couldn't handle situations. You know what I mean? Now, you over here, I'm over here doing vigilante work, and now you got a problem. You know what I mean? Knowing good and well how crooked certain parts of the NYPD is. You know they are. You know they crooked. But yeah, you came to me before, and now you don't want me to do it just because I threw a guy. I mean, I threw a guy off a building. Yeah. Did he die though? He didn't die. So why are we tripping? You know what I'm saying? He didn't do nothing but go to prison. He just went to prison. You know what I mean? So yeah, and more, I do agree with you. You can't be telling everybody, but you can't be saying I love you either to people you ain't willing to this is why you need to go ahead and just knock them off and keep moving. Because if you ain't willing, if you talking about I love yous and all of that, you keeping that humongous secret, she ain't gonna never trust you, big dog. You know what I mean? So we in here with Wilson Fest. Are you telling me seriously that that Daredevil is back? So he's back. You know I hired you, Buck. Because in your previous life, you got things done. And I need a guy like that to get things done. So you know what to do with the Daredevil. Nah, he was just happy that I don't think he was happy he was back, but I believe he has a plan. You do this. You said, look, these mass vigilantes, they out here doing doing the fool. We even got one out here committing 60 murders. A mass vigilante. So you're telling me, or a mass man. So to be able to institutionalize, basically their version of the Sokovia Accords, but it's just for superheroes who out here want to be a vigilante in New York. I got a task force for you. So now he could be able to put a hit on Matt and not even blink an eye. Do it politically. Be like, we are the law and order here when it comes to the police. You know what I mean? So the law and order is the police, not you. So we are going to make sure that there's no daredevils, there's no spike. This goes really well with the I still haven't seen the teaser. I'm gonna do a video after this. I'm gonna actually do a video about what was announced at CinemaCon on the other day because I was so tired I didn't get a chance to do anything. But this would go well, not only with Wilson Fisk doing this, the police having a problem with vigilantes, it's more in line with the Spider-Man comics. You see what I mean? And then still having J. Jonah Jameson doing what he does, as far as the media. So I think if they stay with this, and this is what I'm saying about this tone and the way that I'm digging the vibe of this show, if this goes along, with Spider-Man, you can still have Spider-Man do his quips and his quirks and stuff like that and still have a tone like this to make the movie better. Because now he's infamous. Like, what J. Jonah Jameson said, he doesn't want to be famous. I'll make him infamous. Now you have something where you have the character Peter Parker broke, you know what I mean, trying to survive, and as Spider-Man, not only does he have the mayor breathing down his neck, the NYPD, the Special Task Force, all of that can align with the heroes in New York, not just Daredevil. So if I'm lying, if I'm wrong, put it in the comment section or put it in the chat. If you're watching this on the replay, tell me if you're digging that. I think that'll be a cool way to make sure that, the tone of this show goes along with what they're really trying to do. If they're really trying to revamp the MCU, And again, take a lot of these characters and um make them better. I think that'd be a good tone to do it at. Personally, I think that would be something that you could really do. So, like I said, to keep the tone. So this is the detective in Cherry going back, and again, uh she is telling, her story, and I'm gonna play it just a little bit, because she's recapping what happened. So Detective Angie Kim goes in, and I said with Cherry, but she's with another guy, and she's looking at everything that Muse was doing. The paint, you know what I'm saying, the price of blood. All of this stuff is vital to the investigation, because Angela's recapping. She was like, I didn't really want to say nothing because the cops ain't gonna do nothing. Which again, I think she's pointing more. If they're gonna do this, are they going to age her up for the next season or whatever she's going to be in next? Number two, to be the new White Tiger, for one. Number two thing is, if they do keep her this age, I don't think they should keep her this age, because I think she's just too small to be taken seriously as a new White Tiger. She's too little to me. You know what I mean? She comes to Matt's waist. That doesn't bow well with me. I think they need to recast and age her up, to another character. You see, I thought that was a damn for a hot second. Age her up, you know what I'm saying, and then have her take the mantle as White Tiger, but have her be the villain that she is in the comic as White Tiger. Because every time she talks about the cops, she hates the cop. She's hating the police in the show. So that'd be a good villain arc for her, until her auntie takes over to the hero, the hero version of the White Tiger. That's just my thoughts. But maybe they'll keep this actress. Maybe she grows up or whatever, or they just keep her like that because it's going to be temporary anyway. I don't know what they're going to do, or if they even going to keep the character of White Tiger around. So now we are with Vanessa, and we're with Luca, and not Doncic either. So Luca is saying, hey, you know what? When you was running everything, we were good. Now that Wilson is up there playing politics and he ain't got back in the scene, we ain't even eating out here. We ain't eating, son. You know what I mean? And it was like, look, with it's like, you don't even believe that, what he's doing as far as politics. And she was like, look, what he doing? I ain't got no, that's none of your concern. What you need to be doing is trying to pay up. But if you ain't trying to pay up, what you really trying to do? He was like, look, we could be working together. He was like, I mean, we need to take him out. He was like, is that a promise, or are you trying to work together? It was like, shit, you let me know. You tell me what you want to do. So I already knew when she when she gave him this smirk. Hold up. When he was talking about working together, and she went and smirked at him, because my man is over here doing too much. You owe like Pookie. You don't want to pay the $2 mil. You know what I'm saying? You had your flunkies come in there, do the robbery heist for the Orange Diamond. We forgot about that. That's the dude who set all of that up from last episode, or episode 5, when they had the bank heist. Luca was the guy who was trying to get the Orange Diamond, you know what I mean, so he could be able to pay off his debt, But when Vanessa was talking to him, she smirked. Trust me, when she did that right there, it was over. Boy, you gonna die. So we're in here with not Elizabeth. No, yeah. Is Elizabeth? I gotta make for sure. Just gonna make for sure, because Heather. Sorry. Heather. And she's in here. This is the first time we actually get to see Bastion, aka Muse without the actual mask. And I'm not gonna lie, this was some amazing acting. Now, I will say this, for this show to get reworked the way that it did, new scenes, all of that, I'm not gonna lie, The acting has been phenomenal. The acting in this show, I am going to give it chef's kiss. It has been great, great in this show. So Muse is over there, remember, she went and got this book. Let me try to go back because I believe the book comes in a frame. But she wrote that book, that he really likes. Remember in episode, I believe this is episode 2 or 3, he comes in while she was signing the books. He was in the crowd, and he wanted her to, sign an autograph. So he was telling this story to try to open her up, about his family and about having this dream about red balloons. And I'm like, yo, my man, so you trying to tell me that you've been hanging with Pennywise? Because I don't know about y'all, but my man look like he can hang with Pennywise just for a little bit. I think, that's just me. Or he could be Pennywise. He just got this look, but he goes real sinister. So Angie Kim comes back and she's telling Wilson, I believe we know who it is. In the crime scene, they was able to find this particular canvas. The only the thing about this canvas is, it's very highly expensive, and only one person that they talked to has not came forward, and that's Bastion. Now, it's crazy that Bastion was also the name of the villain in X-Men 97, and we all know how good X-Men 97 is. Now, let me ask you in the chat, or if you watch this on the replay, tell me what you guys think. Do you think this is as good as X-Men 97? Besides what they did with T'Challa, put in the chat or put in the comment section below. But so Wilson is like, if we got a bead on this guy, we got a special task force that I want to implement this. But he was getting all the information that he needed. But even Detective Kim was looking like, yo, what the? Okay, you got all the information while my man is over here turning into a loony person. This man is over here losing his mind. He was like, I hated my Taekwondo teacher. Now, for someone who trained for 3 months, let me say that again. For someone who trained for 3 months and knows, martial arts as well as he does, is he not an inhuman? Could they actually let me ask you guys this. Do you think it'd be dope for them to introduce? Let me say it again. Would it be dope to introduce the Inhumans with Muse and not the actual Inhumans and bring the Inhumans into the MCU properly? Not just because I kind of did it with Black Bolt, you know what I mean? But nobody cared about Black Bolt, and that's why Wanda did what she did. But I like Black Bolt, you know what I mean? But would you like to see, this is for my comic heads, would you like to see them bring in the Inhumans and slowly but surely do it again? The Inhumans, the X-Men, all of that. What do you guys say? Put it in the chat or put it in the comment section below. But this is when he start freaking old girl out. He was like, yeah, I hated my Taekwondo teacher. I hated my family. They made me do it. But for somebody who got it 3 months, he got to be a mutant because Taekwondo is hard. Taekwondo is very hard. In Xavier Phoenix, you're right. If they do introduce the humans, because they actually made Kamala Khan a X-Men in the comics. They made her a mutant in the comics. You know what I mean? And it almost came out the same time when they made her a mutant. It almost came out the same time that she was in her show. So no, it wouldn't retcon it. It wouldn't, because she is now a mutant. They retconned her in the comics. So it was like, let me see. A clown with a balloon in front of an abandoned house sounds like good times. He could be the son. Oh my God, Pennywise has a kid. You know, Pennywise is actually a woman, though. It's actually a female spider, alien spider. Just food for thought. Thank you, Mika G. Let me just put it like that. Thank you, Mika G. You said that would be cool. I doubt they'd do it, but it would be nice for them to get something right for a change. They're never going to get it all the way right, I don't think. But this is where it goes downhill. My man got blood all in his nose, and my man started painting on the tablet. You know what I mean? He started painting on the thing. She already knew he was. It was like, let's stop playing. You know who I am? You know who I am, big baby. Yeah, and Marley, you're right. You're right. They might make him but would you okay, let me ask you this, Marley Moore. Or anybody else to chime in the chat. Would you like him to be an inhuman or a mutant? If they're gonna make obviously he's not dead, you know what I mean? So because you're not bringing him back if you're just gonna kill him off. So what would you like him to be? An inhuman or a mutant? Put it in the comment section or put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Let me know what you guys think. You know, but he starts slapping her around. Of course, a lot of this I can't play. But you know, Cherry goes to talk to golly, I can't think of her name. This is fine though. Kristen McDuffie. I don't know why I can't say McDuffie because we got Trip McDuffie in Kansas City. But anyway, I think out of anybody that Kristen needs to know that Matt is Daredevil. I don't know if she knows in the comics, but I think in this show she needs to know. You know what I mean? I don't know if she's not going to stop working with him or whatever. You know what I mean? But I think but I believe that she should be able to know personally. You know what I mean? So now we got the Task Force X. They going down. They're looking at all of what Muse was doing. I'm not gonna lie, this was Batman-esque. So they sit around looking around. Everybody, golly, because I'm not trying to get in trouble. So everybody's getting ready to leave. She said a mutant, please. Oh my God, here we go with the auto spell because it said instead of inhuman, they say inhumane. I look. If it's Terrence Howard from Hustle and Flow, man, I got this inhumanes, man. I don't even like them inhumanes, man. But oh my God, auto spell, you good. Let me see. I don't know what the inhumane are, but I'll go with mutant. I really want to scroll though. He ain't gonna be no scroll. Yeah, I was cracking up. Cherry acted brand new, like he didn't know Matt is about that hero. Like, exactly. Well, I was kind of mad at him about that, but I do like the fact everybody left. My man, this is straight Batman. Tell me that ain't straight Batman. I have a straight Batman-esque, but it does work well for Daredevil too. So I like this. My man, hold up. So my man started looking around. Hey, it ain't me, but is that suit a little loose? Hold on. Oh, I'm trying to. Is my man's suit just a tad bit loose? Am I tripping? Or did that mother look like a motorcycle jacket? Anyway, get out my accent, man. Come on, man. Come on, skinny black man. Just let me see it, man. Just play my tape, man. But he's looking through these files. I think he already hit old boy that came in. I think he already hit him. No, he didn't. But he started to pick up. Now, remind you, he's doing this in blood and in pencil and all of this. So Matt was able to grab this paint because remember, in the scene where Angela was at, right? He said, I kept seeing a face. And he was like, a face. So when he's looking at all these pictures, well, he ain't looking at them. He's filling all these pictures. Then remember, they're made out of blood. He was like, oh, snap. My man came in there, beak, knocked him right out. He was like, schnitz. Oh, Schnittlebottom. He need room to move. Right. Holy Butterscotch Batman is Daredevil. Can you imagine how foul that hideout must smell? I mean, good God Almighty, it stank with a capital S and a capital stank. So remember, the cop, the one that got into it with Daredevil, Officer, where are you at? Officer Powell. So Powell is the one who's, is the point man to Wilson. And he know Daredevil was back. But first of all, he got knocked out by him. He knew that at the time was Daredevil. You know what I mean? But then we go back to Muse, and I'm not going to lie. This man had time to change. Where did he have this outfit at? Where did this man have this outfit at? He was like, kept calling the batch. He was like, my name is Muse. And he wrote it on there, and she crying. And he was like, look, I'm going to need a little bit of your blood. And he was like, blood? I don't want no blood. I'm a Crip. And she was like, not today, buddy. I ain't going to lie. I cringe. I'm not playing this, but I cringe when I see anybody get cut and stuff like that in these shows. I can't take it. I can't. And he cut through her arms like, yeah. He said, wasn't this the part on the horror side a little bit? Yeah. But this what brought the episode up a notch, because there is a tense moment where you know Daredevil is going to come save the day, but it's so cut close that it makes it a lot better. Like he brought the bag. I know that mask stink. I know his breath stank. I know his breath is funky. He not only does he stank with a capital S stank, now his breath is funky with a capital unky in it. You know what I'm saying? F unky. Funky. But I ain't gonna lie, this was creepy. This was super creepy. And she was like, you ain't gotta do this. You know what I'm saying? She tried to fight. He knocked her out, but Daredevil came in like nobody seen Daredevil come through this window. I was like, I know he's coming through the window. He's on top. He was like, that ain't the type of, my man's over here wigging. You know what I mean? My man is over here wigging with that. And I'm not going to lie. It looked dope with the man. We're like, who is that? Who comes through the window? My man tried to grab the gun, but like, bop! Oh, man, right up inside the forehead. I will say this. My man is very good with the upside the forehead shots. So my man tried to shoot. I can't play everything because I ain't trying to get in trouble. Cherry's on his way because he already know. He is over there fighting for the gun. And he's over there listening because he know the cops is coming. They're like, bop! Barely missed old girl. Cut to the, give me the gun. So Officer Powell, because you already know that, Task Force X, this is basically what it is. This is the Task Force X, the Wilson Fisk SWAT Special Forces is going to come in here, which I believe that's going to lead to Daredevil taking out the majority of that team too. I believe. He did bust through the window like the color. Oh, yeah. I got on red too. Yeah, buddy. See, this was the Taekwondo coming to play. Pop. Yeah, pop. Oh, man. Right up in the chest area. How does your chest feel? And it's like, He's trying to scramble because I got somebody to murder. You won't let me murder them. He was like, he got up. Man, I'm trying to tell you, he's giving me like Freddy Krueger vibes. It's like, He was like, where you going? He was like, oh, it's slow motion now. Let me get this knife. And he came through. He was like, oh, I got a knife for you. Pop out. Oh, my God, he stabbed. I don't know if I was supposed to play that, but, man, my man took the harpoon. First of all, how did he get that out of his side? Oh, how did you get that out of the side of your chest? The side of your chest. I got the hiccups. The side of his chest. He's like, Oh, I ain't gonna lie. See. Again, what do we always say? They turn, which I'm not mad at them for doing this, but Heather is the Mary Sue. Now, a lot of people would get mad about about the about the Mary Sues. If you know what a Mary Sue is, it's a trope that they, that comic books and all kinds of the movies, all of it's been doing it, where you have the damsel in distress. She's not gonna fight back. She's gonna try, and it's not gonna be any avail. And the hero comes in and saves the day. She's a Mary Sue. There's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? Because we need a balance. We can't have just everybody just whooping ass. It's just not realistic. So somebody got to get saved. You know what I'm saying? Unless she's a 304 and don't save them, they don't want to be saved. All right. My man, Matt was dragging him. Oh, man, with the harpoon. My man was like, kick. I know that hurt. It was like, and they took it out. Pow, pow. Now you messing with his chick. See, this is the time where it started getting personal. You know what I mean? You talking about not Gwen Stacy, because she couldn't even be a Mary Sue, but her next app. But Mary Jane, yeah. Matt did say, get over here. But he was beating the brakes of it. Yeah, that kick, the kick to the head. My man, I'm trying to tell you, for somebody who took Taekwondo for 3 months and then killed his master, my man still got some skills. Maybe he could have been Taskmaster. You know how easy that could have been just to have a guy built like this as Taskmaster? I'm still hoping out hope for Tony Master one day. My man said, have some books. So Task Force X tried to bop in. My man Daredevil's still like, you hit my woman. You trying to kill her. Bop, bop, bop. And she smoked him. She gave him 3 crisp blows to the chest. They're like, oh, snap, son. I'm still beating him. I was still trying to beat him. But she was bleeding out so much. That was her last. And trust me, as somebody who cut their arm, you know what I mean, has cut my arm down to the bone, you do feel like passing out. And I lost a lot of blood. She was losing just a lot of blood. And that was her last piece of adrenaline. But, Matt being Matt, he is, again, Matt, you've been here before. You done smashed other superheroes, Matt. Yeah, this is a problem I got for Matt. Matt, if you ain't trying to let her know, don't call her name. Don't call her name. Say, Daredevil knew my name. You know what I mean? Because you're trying to keep it a secret. Now they go bust in. My man got 3 holes to the chest. He out here looking like a Picasso painting. You know what I'm saying? With his eyes all open. Old girls laying to the side. But, Matt made sure to make sure that she was, he slowed down the bleeding. So we all know the Daredevil was there. So now we cut to my man Wilson Fisk. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, this dude has been lying here all night. All night. Why in the hell has he been here all night? Why haven't they took away his body? Normally, in a crime scene, they take the bodies, especially if he's dead, and send him to the coroner. Why is he here at night? Stank! Again. And again, what Tommy said about them, what they said about him being back in season 2, this should have been a clue, because they should have took his body. So he was going in, he was like, I think Daredevil was here. He was like, ain't nobody been here, you been here. He said, I think Daredevil, I said you been here. You're the real hero. What you need to understand is that you're the NYPD, the guys who came up here. You guys are the real heroes, not these mass vigilantes. But I think that body is funky. It stank. It was like, you sure you want me to say that? Oh, okay. Whatever you want, Mr. Fisk. Because his plan is to make sure to legally eliminate Daredevil. And we see Daniels up in his chair and he's talking to BB. And again, Daniel has a way bigger role that's coming up that I want to figure out what is it going to be. You know, because he was talking to BB Slick. I ain't gonna lie, BB's gorgeous too. But he was talking to her slick. Like, look, if you don't say, if you say Daredevil say these people in not the NYPD, then we gonna have a problem. We gonna have a big problem. He was like, is that a threat? Nah, mother, it's a promise. I didn't cuss, Roberta. I muted myself. Then he was like, ha ha. So Matt is up in here with Heather that I called Elizabeth earlier and I was wrong. And she's sitting up here and she's like, somebody cut to my name. Daredevil said my name. He was like, oh, snap, son. But he was like, I'm here for you. But I already know. But I'm going through traumatic. I have a traumatic situation. So did Daredevil really? I was like, did Daredevil really say your name? I'm not saying, but you just went through a traumatic situation. And in the back, you see that they're playing. Bastion has been apprehended in the back. If you notice, let's that little small Easter egg. This kid, Bastion, she went to go turn up the TV. No, turn the TV off. Turn the TV off. You don't need to see all that. You already been through a traumatic situation. And then, oh yeah, she did turn the TV off because she didn't want to see it. That's what happened. But anyway, we get to Wilson Fisk. And Wilson Fisk was like, my guys over here are the real heroes. Look at this bastard. Pal. All of these dudes are former. Look at me in the back. Y'all see me over here? Me, forehead and all. I didn't want to tell you I was in this show, but you know, I don't know. My hairline looks nothing like that though. But I do like this because this showed a contrast to Wilson. Remember how Wilson is always eating? You know what I mean? So she said she's completely setting dude up. Complete. I knew because I paused it. I was at work and I paused it right on here. I was like, he's alone. Go to 32 Weather Street. He's alone. You know, I don't know who has a 212-136-9834 number, but I guarantee you they getting set up. Bye-bye, Luca. And she made this smirk. She had this complete smirk. So, you know, she said to Lucas, she was like, So Lucas sitting around, got the text. Oh yeah, he alone. Let me go. Let me go over here. You know what I mean? Let me go over here. Let me go holler at Mr. Fisk. So we know he's at Balmonte's restaurant. And Balmonte's must have some really good food because this is where I love the way my man is eating at this restaurant. Because you know I was real upset when my man was just eating an egg and one asparagus and chopping it up like he was really eating. This is a man's food. This right here. My man is eating. You know what I'm saying? So he over here, he's just enjoying his steak. It's just steak. Just gotta enjoy my steak. You know what I mean? I just enjoy my steak. So my man is enjoying his steak. Luca coming there. Oh, he look like he by himself, huh? You thought you was gonna get, you know, that first hit in, huh? You came along, huh? You thought your little gun was gonna do something to Wilson Fisk, huh? But again, they played it like a mafia movie. You know what I mean? They played it like a mafia movie. My man came in, he thought he was gonna get a hit in, and guess who about to get hit? Hit me with your best shot. He was like, oh yeah, you ain't been feeding us. He put the blinky to his head, and then bop. My man said, don't you dare. Don't you dare think you could be able to get away with this. Don't you dare. And he did it so G-like. It was like, see if Vanessa wants some of this steak and broccoli to take home. That's not exactly what he said, but did she want something to go? Because she did well. She hooked it up. Don't tell me that's not a power couple. They're starting to, I'm trying to tell you, I love that. And then we at the end of the episode, I loved the way that they hit. You know what I'm saying? That last beat. Loved it. But fish eating good, I wanted some. I ain't gonna lie to you, because I know that that's gluten free. Good steak, you got it in like bites, with some mashed potatoes, some broccoli. Mm. Now that's good eating. But anyway, what did you guys? He said I meant the pop to the head made me shout. I was like, oh snap, son! Andre Ware's up here, the quarterback from Houston, 1989. No, it wasn't. I say it was a good episode. It was a very good episode. It reminded me of Fish Mooney for Gotham. I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. But he eating good in the neighborhood, man. He ain't eating just one egg and asparagus. I was feeling real bad. My man was getting thin in the neck. No, I don't need my Wilson fist being thin in the neck. I need everything to be able to defeat my enemy, Daredevil. But anyway, what did you guys think about this episode? Like I said, it was 8.5 out of 9. Just because him coming back for season 2 was ruined. Because I was like, but then he stank and he been sitting there all night. Just so the mayor can come see him. Stanky booty ass stinks. I didn't like it. He need to get him up out of there. Just like me. Get up out of there. But did y'all see my cameo? Forehead, all of that. Just bam, got the Whataburger sign in my head. All of that, man. What y'all think? Y'all let me know about my cameo appearance in Daredevil.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
I will be back later. I'll be back later on with a special look of my thoughts on what they announced at CinemaCon and all of that. Let me get up out of here because I got to get this forehead, you know what I mean? So I can make my next cameo appearance. I got to get my forehead ready and all of that. But also, I will let you guys know, check out Keke Palmer's podcast. She had Jonathan Majors on there. I don't think I mean, it's a podcast. I'm not going to do a reaction video to that. It's probably a lot of stuff we've already heard, but I did hear from Cat Knight Williams that it was good. So I would say go and check it out. But anyway, thank you so very much for tuning in to this episode of the Dre Mack Show. What did you think about this episode of Daredevil? If it's your first time watching, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. But don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so you never, ever miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Let this forehead get another cameo in here. Where's my outro at? Look, y'all already know I've been on here too long, but I gotta go. Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over? What? Huh. Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.